Okay, right. So welcome to the summary of what we've been talking about today. We started talking about what databases were. Yes. Databases give us a home to be able to store a wealth of information. List of customers, clients, inventory, payroll, different tables, clients across countries, customers across countries, income, just different things that we can store in one place. Then we next talked about tables, and we said this is how information is initially presented when you import the file into the database. And we can go to the design view to reset the fields, restrict what can be typed into a field by going to the design view and setting those fields. Typically those fields have drop-down buttons that you can go in and work with, and then always save your work. In fact, it won't even let you go on to the next one until you save it. Then we talked about forms, and I told you forms are really our way of restricting people just going into the database in the back view and just messing up the fields. Forms restrict them. Typically, that's the main aim, so they can just go in and just put the information in, and that's it. And really, forms just the back end folk can also use forms to just restrict the fields by just removing the fields altogether, so that the user only just sees the fields that they want them to see. Okay, and queries. Here you could be asked to select particular data to show and to leave out some data. And like I said, go to create, go to the query wizard, and just pick the information you need. Try and always understand the question well in terms of knowing what information you need. And it doesn't matter if you've missed out some information, if you need to add some information, just go back to the design view. And you always find that under the home tab. We're always working in the home tab. Click on the right click on the actual table that you're interested in. You'll get to design view. Get design view on the way, and then you can add or or delete. Well, not delete, or remove, unclick whatever you don't need, but make sure you watch the query video again just to make sure you can go over that, to make sure you're comfortable with that. Yes, and I finish off here saying that you can always go to design view if you have forgotten to add a field. And finally, I talked about printing the information you've been working with. We do this via reports, creating a reports wizard. You could create it could be columnar, it could be tabular. And if something isn't showing very well, don't panic. Just go to design view and expand the area you're interested in, and then save, and you'll see it'll just come out properly. Yeah. So that's quite important. Design view. Always remember that. Yes, under the home tab. So all these words we've been playing with, reports, forms, queries, tables, they're all known as objects. Yes, objects. Really important objects. And you can save these individual objects as you go along. Yes. So, for example, it's really important because if we go to the file menu here, you can see here, right now I'm focusing on a form. And this is a report. And I just told you, this is an object. If I go here, file, so this file really is about saving, saving stuff, opening stuff. And you can see here, I can save the entire database, which you should do when you're in an exam. Save the entire database, put it on your desktop or put it somewhere, because you might have to get some information from that database. We'll see that in our next lecture. Or you can just save objects, which is you could save forms, you could save queries, you could save tables, you could save reports, and you can save it. You can see here, that's the report I'm dealing with. So it's already telling me I can save it as a report. It's just giving me the name. It's telling me what name do you want to save it as, right? So let's go back there, and let me go to a query now, and let me go back to file. And if I save the object, you can see here it's telling me, do I want to save this as a query? Give me the name. Yeah, so you can save your database, of course, but you can also save your object and give it a name. Yes, right. And then, whoops, let's just go here. Right, so yes, here's what I'm saying. You can save these individual objects as you go along, as you might need to export this file or an object related to another program, which we will see in our next series of lectures, mail merging. So for example, you might actually have to send a letter out to these customers, or you might have to send some receipts out to these customers, which would be in, say, Microsoft Word. Now, Microsoft Word has the ability to look in a database and drag out the addresses and the names, surnames, and titles of the people you want to send these letters to. And in a way, it's exactly the same thing. It's like importing. Yes, we can import the information from a database into Microsoft Word. Yes, and you might want to import that information from, say, a query. Yes, a query, or from a table. So, which is why it's quite important to save the object. So when you save the object, when Microsoft Word is looking for where to import the information from, you can direct it to a particular object because it's saved and you know the name of that object. Yes, so we'll come back to that when we look at mail merging. Great stuff. So this is the end of the series on databases. Now it's really about getting a chance to practice, practice working with databases. So I will send you an exam paper to work on as well. Okay, great stuff. See you in the next series of lectures.